Daniel Flynn, we're here at the On the Ball team building day. Can you explain to us your involvement with it and what it's about?
Yeah, so I'm just kind of up here today for the launch of it. It's a new company based down the far side of Dingle down in Kerry by Jamie Finn. So it's kind of what they do. How would I best describe it? It would be a team bonding sort of a session. So they take teams down for a weekend away. They do team culture workshops, performance workshops. Say they get a guest speaker in, like an elite athlete, to talk about their experience, how to so kind of improve a culture within a team, improve performances, the mental side of it. There's a social aspect, so they kind of bring lads out to do team building exercises. I think on a farm up the side of the mountains. It's meant to be lovely and scenic. Jamie was saying he's a farm down below in Dingle, and you can see way off into the distance. You can see, I think it's Kildare, but it looks really nice. And then probably they bring the lads out then afterwards, the best out of gel boys, and bring them back in the stay then in his place, and a tip on up the road then the next day. But it's that sort of thing, getting teams away for the weekend and getting lads to bond together and have a bit of fun and ultimately just enjoy each other's company.
Great stuff. So like you're after taking a year out from Kildare after being back for a couple of years. You're back in the fold now, but how did you spend your year away?
Oh, I just relaxed, to be honest. Now, I relaxed as much, kind of, in the year or two leading up to maybe 2018. I had a lot on, so, like everyone, but I found that it was just becoming too much for me, and I just had to take a step back. I had so many different balls in the air, just something was going to give, and it was the football. And I thought it was the best thing. I spent my year, I went back to the club, I did a bit of travelling, went back to the club. And probably going back to the club was great, because I kind of found the love I had for the game again. Took things really easy, took things straightforward, and as the year kind of went on, then started to really enjoy playing, especially when the championship came around for the club. I really was eager to go back in with Kildare then. So yeah, no, it was good. It was a year well spent.
What was the tipping point with you deciding I'm probably better off taking a year away from it?
I was starting to be keeping out, maybe the end of 2017, virtually all of 2018, about training. So yeah, training was becoming a chore for me, and ultimately I had in the back of my mind, and I stopped enjoying it. Like when I went back to the club after the county in 2008, I wasn't enjoying any of it, even the games. And at that stage, I kind of thought something's not right here, and I was afraid that I was going to start pulling the thing down, and becoming a negative influence. I thought what was best was just to step away, and it was.
Is there any part of it whereby, you know, like you've been a professional athlete in the AFL, that you come back and everyone expects you to be the golden bullet to solve Kildare, and then you go back to your club after a hard season, win as a championship there, or whatever it may be that everyone expects from you? That is part of it that wears on you after a while?
No, it wouldn't. There's an expectation there, but I think that's in every sport. I think if you start to do well, you're seen as someone there to be depended on, and someone there to kind of, you know what I'm trying to say. Like it. Yeah. We had a fella in with us this year, and the way he put it was, our big dogs have to bark. That's what he said. So it's kind of like that. Like you kind of, when you start to play well, you're seen as a leader, and you need to kind of row in a bit more, and more is expected of you. But it doesn't really wear on you, I find. Yeah. There are other people's expectations, like. In terms of matches, I don't really think a whole lot about it as well, Shane. So you go out to play a game of football, you could be playing a challenge game, you could be playing a championship game. That's the exact same thing you have to do. So I don't really find the expectation weighs a whole lot.
When did you make your mind up that you would go back with Kildare? Was it before or after speaking with Jack O'Connor, after he'd been appointed, I suppose?
Definitely before, right. But it was more a gradual process during the year. So during the year playing with the club, I was starting to enjoy it more and more. I really wanted to go back in with Kildare, and I was hoping to be given the chance to go back in, because I wasn't sure what was happening with team managers or anything like that. So when Jack rang me to meet him for a coffee before we kicked off again, kind of just an informal chat, and that was really good.
Everyone kind of thinks that he's like a headmaster type vibe, you know, that he's a disciplinarian and all that kind of stuff. Did you get that vibe from the get-go, or has it been different to our perceptions?
No, well, from the get-go, I met him, it was just an informal chat. We met in the Glen Royal before he went to the All-Ireland final.
I spent many a night in there in college.
We won't say anything about that.
Yeah.
But No, it was grand. It was very, very nice down there. Just a simple chat. He just asked me how my appetite for football was, and I said I was good to go, and he was happy with that. Now for the minute we've about 50 lads in the panel, so I think he's kind of taking everything in and kind of looking at different lads and seeing what sort of personalities and characters he's in there. I think that'll step up big time now come the new year, and he'll be, not that he isn't involved, but he'll be kind of more headmaster, more boss man going forward. Like,
because Cian O'Neill, like, he had a couple of seasons that were quite good and progressive. There was an element of a yo-yo effect. So there's definitely a lot of qualities there. He's got a Cork, obviously. But with Jack, because he's come in, has that kind of changed perception? Well, not changed perceptions, but are people all of a sudden thinking, right, I need to put my best foot forward here? And has it given you a lift, I suppose, is what I mean?
It definitely has, but I think that comes with the territory. It's a whole new management team, so the whole thing is fresh. But it pulls the rug under everyone, so no one's comfortable in there at the minute. So everyone's really eager to impress. I remember Kevin Feely was speaking there 2 weeks ago, and he just kind of said, with Jack's pedigree, it comes with you want to impress him as well, and that's definitely true throughout the panel. You can see that in lads.
Where do you think the ceiling is for this team? Because just from the outside looking in, I'm always thinking, I expect Kildare to push harder. I'm not saying beat Dublin, because nobody seems to be able to in the last 5 years. But I always feel like there's more in Kildare than what you're getting out of yourselves.
I think that's a perception around the place as well.
Within Kildare?
Definitely within Kildare. There's great support in Kildare. And I think people can see that talent and see everything. They're kind of mad to figure out why aren't we to the next level. But I don't really know. I couldn't really put my finger on it. I think this year, this year going into Division 2, trying to get into Division 1 will be where it kind of starts off and kicks off. But I don't really know, to be honest, the answer. I'm not sure.
Because outside we're there thinking, right, you were a professional athlete, cribbing. I'm trying to think off the top of my head who else was. But there's a number of guys, and I know I'm definitely forgetting a couple here, because there's like the Johnstown Brigade who all went down to the AFL. So you're just thinking, geez, like, there's serious athletes in there, and it shouldn't be a mile away from challenging most teams.
That's probably, you look at, I think Kevin Feely was over abroad playing soccer. Yeah. Paddy Brophy as well was abroad playing Aussie rules. And then you've the kind of lads around our age. We won an under 21 Leinster. We got bet by Galway in 2013. And then you've the under 20s coming along who've won the All Ireland there. So there's definitely a great bunch there to work with. There's a solid foundation there. Why it's not kicking on, I don't know. That'll be up to Jack and the boys to kind of figure out and to try and amend or fix, if you know what I mean. So that's their job. And
like, you were full forward there a couple of years ago. Had a great season, great time of it in there. And just wondering, the idea of the advanced mark, is that something that you welcome, or do you think it'll make a difference one way or another to your game?
I'm not sure. We were chatting about it up there. Like, there's definitely pros and cons to it. One of the lads was saying there, you could be standing outside the 45, a metre outside it, kick it across the pitch 20 metres to some lad a metre inside it, and you free kick. I think it's going to slow the game down. Some teams are going to make advantage of it, others aren't. I don't really know. Like, I think the game is fine the way it is, but it's not up to me. Like, we'll try to utilise it as best we can, so long with everyone. But we haven't been focusing on it too much.
And did you attend many of the Kildare games last year, or did you just take a complete break?
No, I would have went, and it was kind of weird at the start. I just felt that Michael Barney asked me upstairs. He was just saying, "Did you feel guilty at all?" And I kind of like, I did, because at the end of the day, they're your friends. But I wanted to go. I wanted to support them, and just to follow the lads, and it was good. By the end, as the championship went on, it was grand. But it was definitely a bit weird.
Any sort of a funny welcome when you came back for your first training session?
No funny welcome.
No messing?
There's always messing, but I kind of I don't think there's no pranks pulled or anything like that.
Are they is it a fun and training environment in with the Kildare lads? Because the general perception of inter-county is unbelievably dour. You're working so hard, 6 nights a week, 7 nights a week. But is it a fun environment in there?
Absolutely is, yeah. It is, yeah. They're a good bunch of boys. Yeah.
There are a few sneers in there?
Along with everywhere, yeah, there is, absolutely. It's just trying to keep the head down sneer as much as everyone else as you can, and kind of not get picked on yourself. But no, it is. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
They're good crew of boys.
Do you ever reflect on your days of playing AFL one way or another, positively or negatively, or is it just kind of like, is it ancient history to you at this stage?
Would you follow the AFL now?
I would a little bit. Like, I went down to an international rules series in 2014 and I watched it solid for a week or two. I think it's pretty good, but I wouldn't follow it that closely.
The way I put it is, it's like football with no rules. I think, and I loved playing it. I thought it was really cool. I thought I was good at it. Like, I was able to take 15 steps and kind of pick up a head of steam and kick the ball as much as you can. Like, but I would reflect on it a bit. I'd have a lot of regrets. I was young at the time. I was maybe like 19, 20. I think I could have done a lot more when I was there, given the time. Struggled a bit with homesickness, but looking back on it, you do things different. But I'm definitely happy I went. Definitely happy I tried it. And it stood to me in a lot of ways. It stood to me even just growing up.
Life lessons.
Life lessons, absolutely. Defending for yourself, you're on your own 2 feet, and that's only a positive. Like, I took loads from it.
Would there be a big drop off in terms of the preparation levels of an AFL person versus a Gaelic footballer?
They train more. They're professionals, so they would train that little bit more. In terms of meetings and planning, it would be similar. The AFL lads have a bit more time. They probably have more access to vision. You used to be able to go and look at all your highlights or anytime you were involved in plays to learn from on your own laptop. We don't have that here, like, but at the end of the day, they're only men, like, the same as kind of anyone here. They just have that bit more time and they're that bit fitter because they're training the whole time. But preparations are kind of very similar.
Cheers, Daniel. Best of luck in 2020.
Thanks very much.